Hi, it's Polly with Get Busy Thriving. I wanted to give you an idea that I hope you'll use, and I hope you'll use it as often as you can, and that is a personal check-in. And a personal check-in is an emotional check-in, and it's where you can just check in with your heart, check in with your emotion of where am I? In the moment of a panic or a binge or the urge to binge, you've been thinking some thoughts that have led you down a road that have you feeling that way, right? Because our emotions are tied to the thoughts that we think. So the personal check-in is a technique that you can use, maybe not at that peak state when you're just overwhelmed and you're just running for the kitchen, if you will. But before that or ahead of that in the future, if you'll use this technique, it could help you. And the idea is when you are, anytime during your day, you can use this. And it's, how am I feeling right now? And it's just asking yourself that question and then listening for the answer or feeling for the answer, actually. So when you check in with your heart, go, how am I doing right now? And what I want you to understand is there's an emotional scale that we're all on all day, every day. And the emotional scale goes from feelings like depression or anger to peaceful, hopeful, eager, and joy. And we're all always wanting to move in the direction of, peaceful, joyful, and loving. We may not be there at the moment. So the personal check-in is, how am I feeling? And just, see where you are. And then you can relate that to where you are on this chart. And the idea is, if you're over here in these negative feelings and these disempowered feelings, these are our empowered kind of states. This is our disempowered feelings. The disempowered ones make us feel awful, right? So to help us move up this emotional scale, what we can do is ask ourselves, better or worse? What thought, what could I be doing or thinking about, or what options do I have, and how do they make me feel? So if you're in a place of boredom or frustration, and you have an idea like, maybe I'll call a friend, or I could go, read a book, or I could, wallow, or something, I don't know what would come up when you're feeling frustrated and bored at that moment, but whatever thought you have, better or worse, does it lead you in this direction, feeling better? Or does it take you away from what you want to feel and feel worse, more disempowered, if you will? So, what I want you to start doing is using this throughout your day and noticing that your thoughts and your heart and your emotions are all tied together. So, you can direct this. You can direct where you are in this emotional scale. And by all means, it's not to say that we're going to go from instantly depressed to instantly joyful with one thought. It doesn't happen. You actually move along this scale up and down all day long. And I'm just giving you a technique that to ask yourself, does that thought, that the idea of whatever it is I'm thinking about doing, calling a friend, does that make me feel more empowered? Does it make me feel loving and joyful? If you called that friend that you think would either help you with a problem that you're having or a situation, if it would take you in that direction, then it's empowering you, and that's the choice that you should make. So the idea is throughout your day, not in those panicky moments, but before that, right? Because you can cut off those panic, overwhelmed, urging, binge crazy moments by using this technique throughout the day. Because what will happen is if you don't catch it early enough, you will be way over here before you know it, right? Because our habitual patterns of thought, if we're actively bulimic, is in this direction. What we want to do is start to move our meter, if you will. So where you normally kind of sit on this meter will depend on the habits and the habits of thought that you are continually thinking about. So what we want to do is just keep moving you in this direction. So ask yourself, how am I doing? How am I feeling right now? And then whatever thought or idea that you have, say, does that make me feel better or worse? So how am I doing? And would that idea or a suggestion or thought that you have feel better or worse? And it could just be that an idea of something. It doesn't mean you have to do anything. It's just the thought of it. So I hope you'll try this technique. I'm very excited. I'm working on a lot more to be sharing with you in the plans of preparing a webinar that will be coming out in May. So look for that. I hope you'll join me for that as well. More details coming soon. So try it on your personal check-in.